Ya, betul. Itu dia. Beda aja. Betul tak bad. Mana dah. Datang jabu iki. Ya buat. Ha? Ayah kata no. Lẽ. Ya. 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 Lẽ. Mẹ đã lấy nè. Mẹ. Bữa nay anh mẹ cái để thoa sợ đấy. Mẹ cái tay kia để thoa sợ đấy. Rồi bên đây. Lẽ. Đây nói cái gọi. Chúng ta này. Không. Rồi. Dạ. Đi vào. Padahal dia Mac lagi tahun lagi dah. Lagi jam Mac lagi dah.
Hello สวัสดีครับ
พี่โดโดสวัสดีครับ
เฮ้ยโทษทีพี่เริ่มงงแล้วสรุปก็คือเราเรียนเวลาไหนอ่ะพี่เริ่มแบบ
งั้นเดี๋ยวเราเปลี่ยนเป็น2 ทุ่มตลอดเลยก็ได้ครับ
ผมโอเคใช่ไหมสะดวกไหมหมายถึงว่าต้องถาม
สะดวกครับ
เป็นหลักเลยพี่ยังไงก็ได้มันเป็นออนไลน์ใช่โอเคอ่ะถ้าอย่างนั้น อย่างงั้นก็ได้ก็ทักมาเป็นช่วงหลังๆไม่ค่อยได้ดูไลน์นะโอเคso all right so we can start for today class all right again right discussion and then talk as much as possible here so look at for the first question first so here it's all about like cultural norm or even like the practice that can do or has been done in the US countries here. Some people think of the United States, right? United States as a nation of couch potatoes, right? And what you need to say is that try to convince other people to believe that what can be done to get more physically active or some kind of thing or even exercise or do some activity instead of couch potato or sitting in the sofa watching a TV program or even playing such a video game, things like that, right? So what you need to raise the example is that something that is really important for physical activities for example, like exercise, things like that, right? I'm going to give you for 5 minutes to come up with the idea from physically active here. And then if you're ready, you just talk. What I need from you is that just talk about, let's say like pros and cons of this kind of activity and why we can substitute or replace such a couch potatoes in order to make sure that everything better or even transform in a better way, right? Good. Yeah.
Okay. In my opinion, I think that the way to encourage people at United States to be more physically active is to make a campaign to make people realize the importance of exercise.
Yep.
And we also should include the risk that can happen from sedimentary lifestyle. As you can see that nowadays, people tend to have a syndrome called office syndrome, where people don't do enough physical activity and just enjoy their time by using a notebook computer to work, and this can cause many problems to their bones and muscle. Yeah, so I think that it should be great to to make a campaign like this. And if we if we success, we can encourage people to do more physical activity, and they will be healthier than before.
I see. Right. So basically, for this couch potato, I'm kind of like I want to share some, different perspectives about couch potato. I would say that for the couch potatoes here is kind of like the old version of that. People are sitting in front of the, the TV programs or even like TV theater at home, right? But now we can see like to those people who really have to work 9 to 5 in a daily routine, they're gonna catch being stuck in a traffic jam. Let's say like driving a car. So you can see like those people who have like sitting in the car, they're gonna watch some movie just because they have to stuck in the traffic jam, right? So they have to spend for a few hours in the car. So I would say that this is kind of look like couch potato just because we have to sit and try to recreational do some activity in the car, right? So to me, I think that this is maybe the another perspective of look like couch potato instead of like sitting in front of the TV at home, right? So it's the same way just because we spend the time together. So to me, I think that what we can try to change the habit or habituation to be more physically active here is that try to walk and sit instead of doing it. And I think that to those people who stay at home, especially after COVID, so we can see like lots of people may change their career or lifestyle into like spend lots of time staying at home instead, right? So maybe the physically active here is not that much active, I can say. So what we need to do, what everyone can do is that just walk and then just stand or do some yoga or things like that. So this is kind of like very important for what we can start from the little things, and we can start from ourselves here, right, at home, things like that. Yep. Okay, good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. All right, so we can see from the second question here. You've been asked to write a brochure to attract visitors to your hometown. So let's say like the information here is that let's say the detailed description or even the information about the hometown. So just raise some example of that hometown first. Maybe you can see from the urbanization or even distance area or even in the cities here too, right? So what we need to say here is that try to convince other people visit the place where we live. Once you raise the sample of the city, for example, in Bangkok, right? So what we need to have the detailed discussion is that the visiting spot, I can say, spot destination or the tourist attraction there, right? For example, like if you can say about historical places or even the more international or globalization or the place that everyone have to visit and took a picture here. So this is very important to say too, right? Okay, again, right? So for this style of speaking here, convincing is very important. What you need to do is that you have to open with the introduction that can raise the others' attention first and try to convince other people to believe in what your information here, right? 1, 2, 3. And finally, try to convince other people to believe what you raise, such the offer or even the statement that you are going to let everyone believe what you are saying here, right? Okay, I'm going to leave you for 5 minutes to prepare for this, and then if you're ready, you can go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Um, if I have to write a brochure to attract visitors to my hometown,
อืม
which is Bangkok, I will surely write a brochure about the food in my hometown. This is because I think that the restaurant in Bangkok have some of them have some kind of fine fine dining cost. Yeah, which I think is quite attractive to the abroad abroad traveler who want to try Thai food with a modern style. Yeah,
อืม
and also I will also include about the facility in Bangkok too,
อืม
and maybe some place that is quite that is quite popular to traveler like temple, yeah, and maybe um some um, some supermarket place or the city in hometown like
อืม
Siam Paragon, yeah, somehow some kind of this.
right
This is because I think that all those things that I just mentioned is what is different between the main city and the rural area.
อืม
Yeah, so I think that we should use this strength to attract the traveler to come to our city.
อืม I see good all right That's all right for the Bangkok city that attract other people to visit this hometown, right? To me, you can say like I just want to share some kind of like maybe I just raise the example of the province in Thailand, right? So I think I just come up with Phuket city, Phuket Island city here, right? So basically, I do believe that when it comes to talking about the way that other people, even visitor, can attract to the the place that everyone knows about it, right? So Phuket is one of the island that has been shown the lots of attractive tourist attraction or spot destination for those people who really want to visit in Thailand. And I can say like this is such beautiful and scenario or even what we see from the Phuket Island is just kind of like a lots of tourists attract to there, not only just because this is a spot destination for the tourists, but I can say that it's all about like the scenario, the sea, the beach, or this is kind of like a beautiful places that you can have to, once in a lifetime experience with this kind of thing, right? So to me, I think that it's not just only for drive economic from other people to visit in Thailand, just open the door. It can be a way to attract not just only for tourists, but maybe for a Thai citizen can visit that too, just because we can make any, money circulation or even a drive for sustainability in terms of economic or, the things related to, in order to make sure that it goes further for any progress here. So I think that this is the highlight of the Phuket Island. This is kind of like what we have to maybe change a bit for a better. For example, like if we understand that this is a spot destination for tourists, it means that we have to prepare lots of people, right? Lots of human laborers, job laborers to be able to serve or even service in terms of a language or a communication here. So I think that this is very important to take as the important consideration to make it happen and try to convince other people to do so too. Yep. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Done. ดึกหน่อยนะวันนี้ไหวจริงที่ไม่ได้เวลานี้พี่เป็นห่วงเรามากเลยเพราะว่าแบบเรียนหมอน่าจะหนักไหมช่วงนี้หมายถึงว่ายังไง
ก็หนักอยู่เหมือนกันครับ
ใช่ไหมว่าพี่เชื่อว่าพรีคลินิกหรือว่ามันน่าจะต้องจำเยอะใช่ไหมคือแบ่งสมองได้ พี่ไม่แน่ใจนะแต่ว่า
ใช่ครับ
คิดว่าน่าจะใช้เมมโมรีเยอะปะไม่รู้เหมือนกันน่าจะเยอะอยู่นะครับไม่เป็นไรเราเก่งกันแล้วไม่มีปัญหาในภาษาคือคีย์ของพี่คือว่า develop fluency ไปก็คืออาจจะแบบลองเพราะมันต้องดูกันยาวๆนิดหนึ่งนะครับแต่ว่าอย่างน้อยๆก็วิละครั้งก็ก็น่าจะ progress ได้ละโอเค so shall we move to the next question here so this one, right? Many states have increased the speed limit from 55 mile. All right, 55 miles per hour to 65 miles per hour. So this is maybe the ratio of the the US right in a Western country per hour. So we have to let's say like we have to try to shift into our context or Thai context here, right? Major turnpikes and then throughways. Do you think it is wise to allow motorists to drive over 65 miles per hour? So let's say like basically I think that motorists okay, so let's talk about maybe speed limit for a car or even motorist here, right? So it's kind of different. But the key question here is just straightforward to the motorist that is not over 65 miles per hour, right? So why not? Explain the position and using specific reason example. So for this question, I can say that we have to understand the speed limit first. I don't think that we have to focus on the number here, but what we have to raise some awareness here, I think it's just all about like maybe bad consequences that happen from not carefully driving, or even this is kind of like the way that we have to put into practice, right? One of the example for this kind of thing is that try to release some regulation, especially for law, right? Lawsuit or law firm that is control or even manipulates kind of thing too, right? So here, just you can raise any example from the motorist or even a car in the road, and that is what we need to say for more and explain is that why do we need to have such a restriction like this, and what can be done in order to save our life more and more, right? Okay, I'm going to give you for 5 minutes to prepare for this, just because it's a little bit detail here, eh? All right, if you're ready, you can turn on that.
โอเค In my perspective,
อือฮึ
I don't think that changing the speed limit for motorcycle
อืม
from 55 miles to 65 miles is a good idea.
อือฮึ
This is because it can increasing the speed limit can cause the driver to drive faster than before,
อืม
and the faster you drive, the more risk you can have an car accident.
อืม
And this is especially dangerous for more motorcyclists because unlike the car, motorcycle don't have enough safety device for you, like safety belt, and when you ride a motorcycle, you are exposed to the road, and if some accident occur, it has very high chance to get injured by my car. Yeah, when you are in motorcycle than when you are in the car, because it's yeah, and because of this, it can increase the risk of accident, and you may be able to get injured more often than before, and um sometimes the injury that you get from the car accident can be recovered. For example, like many people who have a car accident need to stay in the wheelchair for their whole life, and although it is although some case the although some case injury are not that bad, but I think it's better to not have an accident.
I see. Right. I don't have any much opinion about this. This is kind of like I would say, to me, I think the best thing is that just release some rules and regulation, because this is the only thing that we can control or even manage everything properly, right? But anyway, in terms of cognition, or even I think the thinking skill, behavior, or those people who are usually using motorcycle or motorists in the road, they're gonna have like the right to do so. I mean, like is it is safe for them if they understand or even know how to limit this kind of thing, right? And also the way that we have to use you know any detailed information about how to limit or speed limit can be done, and to make sure in order to make sure that this kind of thing can be safe. So yeah, so to me, I think that it must be initially let's say like I can say that it must be coming from those people who have authorities or even the influence to make sure that this thing will happen for long lasting, right? Just because it's kind of like it's related to the I can say law or even this kind of thing that is hard to be managed, and also that is beyond capacity to do so too. So what I can say for this a position or example here is just like to serve to the main responsibility to those people who are committed to change something for a better here. Yeah. Good คิวสุดท้ายนะฮะวันนี้เลิกเร็วได้ไหม
ได้ครับ
เดี๋ยวสงสารน้องไม่ใช่อะไรหรอกอันนี้โอเคจริงเหรอเวลานี้หมายถึง
อ๋อ
ว่า
โอเคครับปกตินอนดึกอยู่ครับ
อ๋อนัดนอนดึกอยู่แล้วใช่แต่ว่าเด็กหมอไม่น่าจะนอนดึกหรือว่าเราจำเป็นต้องนอนดึก เพราะว่าพี่มีเพื่อนเป็นหมอเยอะมันก็เข้านอน4 ทุ่มกันเดี๋ยวนี้ก็แบบให้คอนเซิร์นกันเยอะเนาะไม่เป็นไรอ่ะ เราเป็นนิสิตก็ต้องปิดนิดหนึ่งเด็กๆยังไม่น่ามีปัญหา Alright, so turning to the last question here. Nowadays, a private life of politician is hardly private. In your opinion, should we be only just connect to the political issues or even like the current situation here, right? Should we be so concerned with the private affairs of the politician, right, and political candidate, and then state the position and support it with specific reason and example? So the key question here is that privacy must be preserved, must be safe for what can be concerned to the private affair or any kind of like right or qualification of politician or a political candidate or not. I would suggest that it can connect or even involve with the terms of a current situation, political leader, prime minister election here, right? Is that any necessary thing or even qualification to those people who can be raise up their name or even nominate into the political realm of the competition here. And any kinds of privacy or private life must be added into their, it's just like a top form or even the big figure of that politician or not. My understanding is that what you need to do is that just talk about privacy in each individual first, and then after that try to connect with the state of politician or political candidate, which can be done for a private affair or even anything related to right. And yeah, just raise some example that is related to our current situation, Thailand Prime Minister here, right? Okay, I think it should be interesting here. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and then if you're ready, just talk about that. Yep.
Okay. To me, I think that although it is true that private life of politicians seem to be exposed to normal people easier than other people. However, I think that it is normal and it is the cost that politicians need to pay in order to make people who support them feel know more about the politician, not only just their policy about the party. For example, like our past prime minister that usually have some private life exposure by a commenter in Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that it is a cost that politicians need to pay so that people will know more about the politician, that whether he is fake just on the social media or not.
I see.
Yeah, um and it is like that their whole private life is exposed. It's just as far as I know, it's just like only some business that they have done with, and maybe some place that they go, like maybe a golf station, something like this, which I think is quite normal if we compare to maybe celebrity or some model. Yeah, that um this kind of job also have to expose their policy a little bit too.
I see.
So I think that we shouldn't concern that much about the privacy of politician, because politician him or herself need to know about this list before they start their occupation as a politician.
I see. So it means that they got to know before they start working in the way of doing so, right? Politician journey, things like that, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it's just because we have to look at the public policies, or even the the perspective, or even the idea that it can be done or implemented into practice, right? So here, yeah, I think that we have to differentiate between two. Private life is happen to everyone. Everyone they can have a private life, but it seems to the right of that person too. If you are a public speaker, I mean, if you are in the position of public figure, it's hard to to be accepted that you don't want in exposed to the private life just because you are in the spotlight, things like that. So to me, I think that what we need to consider is they're going to have the right to preserve or to serve a private life or things like that. So it might be necessary to do so too in order to save or prevent from such a bad thing happen later, right? And to me, I think political candidates have to accept this kind of situation. It's hard to say that if you want once they gonna become a famous person and they don't want to reveal or even expose to the public or public views, right? It's very important and necessary for them to to try to question or have so many inquiries about this kind of thing. But although if they cannot wait from behavior, I mean like appropriate behavior, right? To me, I can say, like, for example, like those people who can connect or related to substance abuse or even the matter of let's say like problems that happen from time to time might cause the bad consequences in terms of a profile of political candidate too. So to me, this all about like they have to understand and accept this kind of thing and try to move forward and even fix it to be better. So this is kind of like yeah, everyone have their own opinion and a private life and happen to everyone. And I think that those people who famous one, not just only for a political candidate, but those people who are in that top level of position like that, they have to accept and acknowledge this kind of thing. Yep. เป็นไงบ้างวันนี้โฟลว์มากนะเก่งขึ้นมากเลยอ่ะตกใจเลยแฮปปี้นะ alright
อ๋อครับ
fluent ดีนะครับก็พี่ก็คิดว่าน่าจะ flow นะแต่ว่าท็อปิกมันก็มีความแตกต่างกันออกไปต้องใช้ timing ในการเตรียมบ้างเป็นบางข้อบางพาร์ทไปแต่ว่าเราก็ทำได้ดีเนาะชอบข้อไหนที่สุดครับ1 2 3 4
ผมชอบข้อ3มากที่สุดครับ
ข้อ3เหรอ
ที่เป็นเรื่อง speed limit ครับ
โอเคนะได้แต่ว่าสตอรี่มันอาจจะแบบกระจายนิดนึงไม่เป็นไรเราก็ฝึกพูดไปก่อนเนาะก็ทำ turn taking อย่างนี้ไปนะครับก็ไม่น่ามีปัญหา progress ก็สรุปก็คือเดี๋ยวเวลาไหนที่เราโอเคสุดคือพี่ยังไงก็ได้นะครับ
อ๋อก็เดี๋ยวต่อไปเรียน2 ทุ่มถึง3 ทุ่มก็ได้ครับ
ได้นะผมไม่ได้มีปัญหานะครับโอเคอยู่ห้องอยู่แล้วอยู่บ้าน
แต่เดี๋ยวอาทิตย์หน้าขอเปลี่ยนเป็นวันจันทร์ตอนดึกพี่ว่างไหมครับ
วันจันทร์เหรอวันจันทร์น่าจะได้
อ๋อ
ได้
ครับ
ไม่มี
เพราะว่าเหมือน
ก็ text พี่มาแล้วกัน
เหมือนวันจันทร์ตอนเย็นผมสอบคดีอะครับ ก็เลยแบบวันเสาร์ก็เลยน่าจะต้องขออ่านหนังสื
โอเค
ครับ
ได้ไม่มีปัญหาผมก็
แต่เดี๋ยวผมไลน์ไปบอกอีกที
ได้ครับผมครับโอเคงั้นก็พอแค่นี้นะฮะสวัสดีครับบ๊ายบายครับ
พี่โดโดสวัสดีครับ
ครับผม